The Zephyrian War Council assembled in their crystalline chamber aboard the flagship Eternal Dominance, their 6 eyes gleaming with the certainty of victory. For 3 standard cycles they had prepared for this moment, the decisive assault on the human homeworld that would end the most frustrating conflict in galactic history. The final calculations are complete, announced War Prime Vexthul, his tentacles dancing across holographic displays. Earth's defenses have been systematically weakened, their orbital stations destroyed, their fleet scattered across 12 sectors. This will be the blow that breaks their spirit forever. The assembled commanders clicked their mandibles in agreement. Humans had proven surprisingly resilient over the past decade of warfare, but resilience meant nothing against overwhelming force. The Zephyrian Empire commanded 700 warships, each the size of a human city. Their plasma cannons could crack continents. Their invasion force numbered in the millions. "What resistance do our analysts predict?" asked General Clicksnore. "Minimal," Vexthul replied with satisfaction. "Our intelligence indicates their leadership is in chaos. Their manufacturing capabilities crippled. They're down to their last reserves." He paused dramatically. "The humans call today Tuesday, apparently a day of little significance in their culture. By sunset, it will be known as the day humanity surrendered." Across the void on Earth's surface, Captain Sarah Chen sipped her coffee and checked her wristwatch. 800 hours. She had exactly 30 minutes before the morning briefing, enough time to review the overnight reports and maybe grab another cup of that terrible but necessary caffeine. The alert klaxons began wailing. "Here we go again," she muttered, not even bothering to look up from her datapad as red warning lights bathed the command center. Around her, dozens of technicians and officers moved with practiced efficiency. Not the frantic energy of panic, but the smooth choreography of people who had done this dance many times before. "Captain," Lieutenant Rodriguez called out from his station. "We've got massive energy signatures dropping out of hyperspace. Preliminary count shows." "Jesus, ma'am, it's got to be their entire fleet." Chen finally looked up, taking in the tactical display that showed hundreds of red dots materializing in Earth's outer system. She took another sip of coffee. "Bigger than the Tasmania assault? At least 3 times bigger." "Huh." She glanced at the duty roster on her screen. "Rodriguez, patch me through to General Morrison." The general's weathered face appeared on her screen, stubble suggesting he'd been up all night in the war room. "I see it, Captain. Looks like they're throwing everything at us this time." "Sir, should I wake the president?" Morrison checked his own watch and shrugged. "Now let him sleep another hour. He's got that economic summit with the Japanese delegation at noon. Besides," he added with a slight grin, "we've handled worse Tuesdays." Chen nodded and began typing orders into her terminal. "Rodriguez, send a flash message to all sector commands. Companies coming for dinner. Set extra places. Standard engagement protocols are authorized." "Aye, Captain. Should I activate the emergency broadcast system?" "For this?" Chen looked at the display again, noting the aliens' approach vectors. Textbook formation, predictable timing. Exactly what their simulations had suggested they'd try after the failure of their previous campaigns. "Nah. Just post a traffic advisory about possible communications disruptions. Don't want to interrupt rush hour." Meanwhile, aboard the Eternal Dominance, Vexthul watched with growing confusion as his invasion fleet encountered the first line of human defense. The orbital weapon platforms that should have been destroyed were very much operational, spitting streams of kinetic projectiles with frightening accuracy. Worse, new platforms kept emerging from what appeared to be empty space, camouflaged installations that his intelligence had completely missed. "War Prime," his tactical officer reported, voice tight with concern. "We're detecting massive energy buildups across Earth's continental masses. It appears the humans have been constructing planetary defense cannons." "Impossible," Vexthul snarled. "Our spies reported their industrial capacity was crippled." What the Zephyrian spies had failed to understand was that humans didn't just have factories, they had neighbors. Every attack on Earth's manufacturing centers had prompted a dozen worlds in the Terran Federation to retool their operations. The mining colonies had worked double shifts. The agricultural worlds had converted their farming equipment to produce military components. Even the luxury resort planets had repurposed their golf courses into missile sites. As the alien fleet pushed deeper into the system, They found themselves facing not just Earth's defenses, but a carefully coordinated response that had been decades in the making. Hidden bases on asteroids opened fire. Civilian cargo ships suddenly bristled with weapons. Even the ancient space stations that the aliens had dismissed as derelicts turned out to be cunningly disguised gun platforms. "Status report," Chen requested, now on her third cup of coffee. "Well, ma'am, they're throwing everything they've got at us," Rodriguez replied, almost sounding bored. "But our new point defense grid is performing better than expected. Admiral Park says the space-side battle should wrap up within the hour." "Casualties?" "Light. The 401st Squadron took some damage, but they're already requesting permission to rejoin the engagement." Chen nodded absently, then noticed something on her personal calendar. "Oh, damn. I'm supposed to pick up my daughter from soccer practice at 1500. Think we'll be done by then?" "Should be, ma'am. The aliens are already starting to retreat. Looks like they weren't expecting our new plasma shields." On the alien flagship, chaos reigned. Half of Vexthol's proud fleet was gone. Destroyed by weapons the humans weren't supposed to possess. Tactics they weren't supposed to understand. His remaining ships were in full retreat, but human pursuit craft were already harassing their flanks. "How?" he demanded of his intelligence chief. "How did they prepare for this?" The answer, had he known it, was remarkably simple. Humans had spent their entire evolutionary history dealing with disasters: floods, fires, plagues, predators, and each other. They had learned to prepare for the worst while hoping for the best. More importantly, they had learned that survival wasn't about individual heroics but about communities working together. When the Zephyrians attacked human colonies, they expected to break human spirit. Instead, they forged human unity. When they destroyed human ships, they prompted human innovation. When they threatened human existence, they discovered that humans had been preparing for existential threats since they first looked up at the stars and wondered what else might be out there. By 1400 hours Earth time, the battle was over. The remnants of the Zephyrian fleet limped toward the edge of the system, broadcasting surrender requests on all frequencies. On Earth, the emergency protocols were already winding down. Captain Chen made it to her daughter's soccer practice with 10 minutes to spare. "How was your day, Mom?" 9-year-old Emma asked as they drove home. "Oh, you know," Chen replied, navigating through the usual afternoon traffic. "Just another Tuesday." Above them, maintenance crews were already working to repair the minor damage to the orbital platforms, while the debris from humanity's latest victory slowly drifted among the stars, a reminder to anyone else who might mistake human resilience for human weakness. The Zephyrians had called it the final battle. Humans filed it under routine Tuesday operations and moved on with their lives because that's what humans did. They endured, they adapted, and they kept moving forward, one ordinary day at a time.